Hi guys, welcome to Flying Monk. Today's video is about the 4 tips every single Indian woman should know about the fitness. When you educate a man about something, it enhances as an individual. But when you educate a woman about something, it enhances as an individual and the children of the country. And so that's why this video will help women as well as men. The reason I promote weight training is because I promote science. Science says that if your goal is to burn fat, which is the goal for most of the women, weight training is a way to go, and that's what the first point is about. The first thing you need to know is there is no such as spot fat removal. If you want those toned arms, thigh gaps, and the flat stomach, it's about burning the fat and building the lean muscle mass under that fat. And the fastest way to go about building the lean muscle mass and burning the fat is weight training. Most women want to burn fat, but the society we have grown up in associate the weight training with the bulky bodybuilders. And if you tell women to take up the weight training, they associate it with the women bulky bodybuilders. Those bodybuilders are bulky because they have injected themselves with the testosterone and steroids inside their body, and we have neither in our system. One scientific thing you need to know about the weight training is it has different effect on the female bodies and male bodies, because the male bodies have the extra testosterone inside them, which helps them to build up the extra lean muscle. So suppose I have a twin brother who has the same genetics as me, who eats the same food as I do, and who follows the same training program as I follow. After a year of weight training and eating right, my twin brother will be extra bulky thanks to those testosterone, and I will be looking well toned, strong, and a beautiful looking fit body. And that's what you will get by taking up the weight training, and that's what you got to remember as a woman. Now, the one golden rule you need to follow when it comes to fitness is you need to listen to science. And unfortunately, the society we have grown up in, we have been told that in order to burn fat, you need to do the aerobics like running, swimming, or any other aerobics. And that is true. The cardio activities like running, swimming, Zumba will help you in burning fat. But here's a twist. Cardio will burn fat while doing the activity. Weight training, on the other hand, burns fat while doing the activity and in the process of doing activity, because you are damaging those muscles. Even when you are resting after doing the workout, you are still burning fat. So when we are talking about the weight training, there are two kinds of burn: active burn and the passive burn. Active burn happens while the activity is on, and the passive burn happens while the recovery and during the resting period. And that's why weight training is the fastest way to those thigh gaps, toned arms, and the flat stomach. And this is what every single woman needs to know, this fact. Science says that the fastest part, the fat loss and your fitness goal, weight training is a way to go, and it won't make you bulky. This is what you got to know as a woman. Now let's move on to the tip number 2, which is again related to the weight training. Women need weight training more than the men do, scientifically from the health perspective. Women's body are built very differently from the men's body, and that's the reason why men's are physically stronger and have higher muscle mass. Higher muscle mass translates to the better metabolism, and higher metabolism means higher calorie cap. When the women and the men eat the same amount of the calories, men will be able to utilize those calories better, and those excess calories will be fueled for those lean muscle mass. When we are talking about the women, their lean muscle mass is lower. And there the point number 2 in the women's life, where their body starts deteriorating a little bit, but it can be prevented. When a woman starts moving from the early 20s to the mid 20s, that's when the metabolism of a woman starts slowing down a bit. So the food which wasn't making you fat in your late teens and your early 20s will start making you fat in your mid 20s. So if you still want to enjoy the food, weight training is a great way to this whole problem. The second time a woman starts losing muscle mass rapidly and the body starts deteriorating badly is after the age of 30. After the age of 30, a women start losing muscle mass rapidly and their bone density starts decreasing. With the combination of these two, the muscle mass reducing and the bone density decreasing, they are prone to injury and their coordination isn't as good as it was. And the solution to this problem is strength training. I have seen that the older women have started taking up the strength training because they have started realizing that my strength levels are going down. And until you reach that age, you will not value something like muscles or strength. But you got to understand that this is going to happen to you at some point in the future. So if you are in your early 20s or the early teens, this is the best time to take up the strength training. Forget about what you have heard growing up that the weights will make you bulky. That's not what is going to happen. Think about your future. Think about your health, about the long term. Now, the food you select, your diet plays an important role in how your body looks. Now, if you're someone who is struggling to reach the fitness goal or burning that baby fat comes down to two basic items. If you eliminate these two basic items, you will see changes in days. And unfortunately, women all over the world have the tendency for the first item, that is sugar. All you got to know is that your fight against the weight loss, sugar is your biggest enemy. You got to keep it as far as possible. Now I know eliminating sugar completely out of your diet is a little bit difficult, but if you want to reach your fitness goal, you got to keep it as far as possible. Once you eliminate sugar out of your diet and minimize it, your second biggest enemy is the processed food. You got to eliminate the processed food out of your diet. Anything that comes out of the factory has a lot of preservatives, dirty carbohydrates, and a lot of bad fat, and it's keeping you away from reaching your fitness goal. It's all about priorities. Now I know that it's little difficult to eliminate these food items from your diet as it's a part of your lifestyle, but it all starts with not buying them at all. Even for me as a fitness blogger, when I need to maintain my fitness, when these food items are at home, it becomes little difficult for me to avoid them. But when I don't buy them at all and keep them away from my home, it becomes easier for me and I can see changes in my body in a week, and even y'all can do it. So when you think that why that stubborn belly fat or that stubborn fat is not going away, it comes down to these two food items. The fourth and the final point you got to know is fitness isn't just limited to the physical goal. It's just not about getting that flat stomach or those toned arms. It gives you a lot more than that. Doing something is always better than doing nothing. When you have that same activity doing every single day, it gives you that mental stability. You have that same activity you are doing. Initially, it might become difficult for you, but after a point, that activity might become an addiction. And when it becomes an addiction, it becomes an escapism. All those feel-good hormones, those endorphins, have really a great effect on your mind. And it's only doing good for your body. Remember that. And the second thing it does to you is it teaches you discipline. And the discipline you are learning has a huge carryover to the rest of your life. Doing any kind of activity like swimming, dancing, or weight training, it just does not give you physical goals. It gives you a lot more than that, and just from that perspective, you should take it up. Every time I come out of the gym, I come out as a happier person. So even if you feel that you're physically fit and you can't get fitter than what you are and not doing any kind of physical activity, chase that physical activity to build you from inside, and that's super crucial for the development as a woman. So that's it guys for today's video in which we spoke about the 4 fitness tips for women and more. Share and subscribe to my channel Flying Monk. Follow me on my Instagram for my personal journey and updates. See you until next time from Shruti. Bye.